Story you're going to see only on WSB tonight. A former officer accused of trying to help get a gang member back onto the streets. Police say the pair was in a relationship. Now that officer is facing several felonies. Channel 2's Michael Seiden broke the story tonight. He joins us live now from the city of South Fulton. Michael, that officer is out of jail tonight, but she now has her own court battle to deal with.
Yeah, no question, George. You know, our colleague Taisha Fernandez and myself, we have been working this, talking to our sources, and today we finally got our hands on new court documents that really read like a Hollywood script. In fact, earlier tonight I spoke with an off-duty officer here who told me that the entire department is just stunned by these allegations. She's the former city of South Fulton police officer accused of abusing her badge to protect her boyfriend. Investigators say 27-year-old Aliyah Jackson, who joined the city's police force in 2019, was booked into jail last month on felony charges after she tried to interfere with a major police operation targeting Metro Atlanta's most notorious drug dealers and gang members. Among the suspects, Jackson's boyfriend, Kenneth Copeland, a convicted felon and documented gang member who served time in federal prison in 2018. Right now, it's unclear how long the two have been in a relationship, but police arrested Copeland on October 27th after they say he was caught driving in his girlfriend's car with a loaded gun inside. Following his arrest, police say that Jackson tried to delete her boyfriend's Instagram page containing photos of gang activity. She's also accused of trying to disable his phone, which police were storing as evidence. On Wednesday night, we stopped by the East Point apartment complex where Jackson resides, hoping to get her side of the story, but she didn't pick up our call.
It is an embarrassment to us all. Certainly it's an embarrassment to the community.
Dr. Cedric Alexander is the former DeKalb County Public Safety Commissioner who now serves as a national expert on law enforcement in America. He says despite the criminal allegations,
this incident should not cast any disfavor over the thousands of other officers right there in your community in Metro Atlanta who are doing an outstanding job and understand the importance of maintaining the distance between themselves and those that are involved in criminal activity.
Channel 2's Michael Seiden joining us live again. Strong words there. Michael, question for you. Tonight, South Fulton Police Chief Keith Meadows talking about the allegations against his former officer.
Yeah, George, he sent us a statement basically saying that they will not stand for this kind of behavior, that they hold their officers to the highest standard. They also told us that she was placed on administrative leave, and as soon as that happened, she did resign from her position, and then 2 days later, she was arrested and charged with those felonies. George?
A lot left on this one. Michael Seiden reporting live for us. Again, you and Taisha Fernandez, great work tonight.
Good morning. It's Monday, November 15th. The year is 2021. We're still in the coronavirus pandemic, which seems to be getting a little bit worse. If you've been watching the news, the state of Colorado, ICUs remain at capacity and getting worse. 12 other states are now showing signs of the pandemic continue to resurge again as more people test positive for COVID, leading to more hospitalizations, which will eventually lead to more deaths, which will eventually lead to me ever getting out this pandemic. But once again, the people being hospitalized in Colorado are people who have flat out refused to get this vaccine. And I don't know what's going on in these people's heads. I didn't read. So, yeah, please do not send me this nonsense or post comments that are foolish and ridiculous against this vaccine, because you all are stupid. You're just stupid. So if you decide that you want to wing it without the vaccine this winter, please take the time to set up a GoFundMe now. Let people know that you don't have insurance to bury yourself in the event you get sick, especially if you know you have high blood pressure or any other health issues. I know plenty of people who have serious health issues who have decided they're going to not get this vaccine. Here we are going into a year. We're almost into a year where the general public in the United States has been able to have access to these great vaccines. Almost a year, and some of y'all still ain't got the program, so COVID gonna get with y'all. And there are people who are watching this video right now, people who, that we pick friends and family members that we know who won't be here in January of 2022 because of their foolish decisions they've made not to vaccinate themselves against this virus. Their decision, I don't know what to say. Now, on to the video. You just saw this news report about this police officer, an African-American black woman who was dating, and she's a police officer, and she was in a relationship with a known gang member. Now, I refuse to believe that this woman did not know what this man was up to. I refuse to believe that this police officer did not know that this man was a criminal doing illegal and violent behavior in the community that he resided in. And she was a police officer in that community. I find it very hard to believe that this woman didn't know this, so she had to have known. This goes back to that young woman that was killed a few weeks ago, an attorney here in Atlanta, who was killed when she began dating some crazy man, and he eventually came in at home and shot and killed her. Reportedly said, they had him on video say, "I shot that bitch." That's what he said. He shot and killed her, and then he was shot and killed himself by other police officers. Did that, this has been on my mind for weeks, did that woman know that that man was capable of that type of violence? Did she know that that man was capable of that type of violence towards her or violence towards anyone? Did he have these guns and weapons? I think she knew. And maybe that's why she may have tried to, we don't know what happened that night or what led up to the shooting. Maybe she tried to distance herself and terminate the relationship once she found out who he was, or once she discovered, oh, I'm dealing with a fool. I'm dealing with a maniac, a psychomaniac. But this police officer willingly knew that she was dealing with a man who was a known gang member, a violent person. And she was a police officer. She knew his record. She had to have known it. I refuse to believe she didn't know it. Then after he was arrested in her car, driving her car while she at work, being a police officer, he out there driving her car. This nigga even got a car. It's like something off of a damn TV show. You know, one of them comedy series like In Living Color or something. Like, is this for real? Did this woman really give this man her car to drive around? He had a gun in there, an illegal gun in her car, and she worked for law enforcement? Was this woman on drugs? That had to be some damn good dick for this woman to risk her life, her job, and her career, which she probably didn't give a fuck about anyway. She probably just thought this is just a job. Something's bizarre here. Black women, I think I'm going to change the focus of my channel towards black women, because this is starting to get ridiculous. Black women are the reason why I'm getting to see clearly now a lot of stuff that's happening in our communities. We have to look exactly at who is allowing this stuff, this craziness. These children being born by these crazy men. These women trying to raise these children. And you see these water boys up and down these streets. Where are these parents? Who brought these children into this world? What mother would lay down and have a child by a man who's worthless? Why? What would be the point? I don't get it. So, my whole thing to these people, these women, they're making bizarre decisions. I can speak from experience for myself that as a black gay man, there were a lot of guys who weren't interested in me because they said I was too boring. That I wasn't excited. I wasn't a thug. I didn't have any, what was the word they said? I didn't have any, I forget the exact term they used, but I was lame. I was told lame. And that was another term because I wasn't out here running around with this foolishness. I don't have any tattoos. I'm like, we get some tattoos. I've never really had a desire to get one. I went and looked at the tattoo shop a couple times. I saw them prices. I said, F this shit. And I walked on out and did something else with my money. I would, what is it that draws our community, our race to this violence? People who are this thuggish behavior. Why was this police officer drawn towards this man? Because he wasn't all that great looking, if you ask me, because I had to go look at his videos. I had to go look at his pictures to see what the fuck was she running around with his ass for. What did she see in this man that she felt that he was, he wouldn't look. He wasn't all that great looking to me. I'm like, what is going on here? I'm trying to pull up this picture. I'm going to post a picture of him and her. And she, to me, she was a pretty looking woman. That's her. I thought she was a bad looking woman. Why would she choose this guy who, to me, was just an average Joe looking nigga? I mean, excuse my language, he didn't look that spectacular to me. He ain't ugly, but he ain't all that. So what did she see in this man? Did she not know what type of person he was? Did she not know the type of violence that she had to have known? I refuse to believe that this woman did not know that this man was involved in that gang violence. Ex South Fulton officer charged with tampering with evidence against her boyfriend. A former South Fulton police officer is in custody after officials say she tampered with the evidence against her boyfriend. Officials say Kenneth Copeland was under investigation as part of an operation targeting drug dealers and gang members in the metro Atlanta area. So he was a known drug dealer and a gang member. She didn't know this. She had to know this. She didn't see him going to work nowhere. She didn't know this. Now, I refuse to believe she didn't know this. All right. So on October 27th, officers stopped Copeland and found a gun inside the car he was driving. Copeland was charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. She didn't know this man was a convicted felon that she was dating. You are a police officer. You're dating a guy. You have not researched. You don't know nothing about this man's past. Before she even became a police officer, I think she knew this nigga. And I refuse to believe that she did not know but she knew because she was going to read a little bit further. In their investigation, officials say they learned that Copeland was driving a vehicle owned by his girlfriend, Aliyah Jackson, an officer with the South Fulton Police Department. As part of the investigation, Jackson was charged with tampering with evidence and violation of her oath of office for allegedly concealing information about Copeland. She tried to get to his phone, which was being held in at the police station, and she tried to get to delete some information off there. She was placed on administrative leave and resigned before her arrest on October 29th. So he was arrested on the 27th. She tried to get to the phone, man, sometime after that, and then she was resigned, and she was arrested just a few days later. Was this worth it? You have to wonder, what is going on in these women? What the fuck is wrong with these women? Are they just fucking stupid? Something's bizarre here. I remember a few years back, there was a story about these women who were in Baltimore, who worked for the Baltimore Police Department, the jail in Baltimore, and they got pregnant. 4 women got pregnant by an inmate. 4 officers who worked at the jail, 4 women were impregnated by the same man. Look it up. These women were having sexual relations with this inmate who was a gang member. Why are they so drawn to these gang members? What is this about? Why are they drawn to these violent? It's like I said, it's like a television show or something. They can't get regular Joes, regular guys who work a regular job or who have a regular life. There are tons of them around here. I know thousands of them, and they can't get a girlfriend. And I used to hear my straight friends make this comment about, these women, they want you to go to the club and sit in VIP and do all this crazy shit. And I'm doing this crazy mess. And I was used to think, man, they must be exaggerating. And I just assumed, because I'm a gay man, of course, I don't know what's going on with these crazy women in no nightclub. I ain't took a woman to a nightclub and never. My sisters and something back then, when we went to the club, there was no VIP section. But these women want to sit up in these clubs and drink and ball out and do all this crazy stuff. They want to live that life. So therefore, they need a man who got that money. See, this police officer was dealing with this man, this known gang member. I bet you he had a lot of money flowing through her hands. I bet she was getting her nails done, hair done on a regular basis. I bet they was living that life, doing whatever they wanted to do, money everywhere. How much cash was rolling through that door. He's selling drugs, illegal drugs, and street narcotics, obviously. Now she in jail. Right? Could have ended worse. She could have been shot and killed. Y'all want to play, you played stupid games, you win stupid prizes. If black women continue to choose these idiots, they're idiots. If black women are choosing these fools to be in a relationship with and have their children, and one of my friends, he grew up in Florida. He never knew his father. He never knew his father was until he was an adult. When he found out his father was one of the biggest drug dealers in Florida down there. His father never paid child support, never gave his mother one red dime, never helped him with anything at all. But this man had money, but he never came over there. But he had children by various different women who knew he was a drug dealer and all this shit. This man never came and took care of his own fucking children. Never. They struggled. And he met his father as an adult. And he hates this man to this day. And I said, I know why you hate him. Because this man had money. Illegal money, but he didn't even help his own children. These bitches laid up. He don't have no respect for his mama either. Which, she made that decision to lay up with this man who she knew was a known drug dealer and all this other shit. He never came over there and gave them nothing. But he had money. Running around Florida. You grew up in an environment where you struggled. I didn't grow up in an environment where we struggled. I had my mother and father there. My father was a great father. My mother was a great mother. They were not involved in any illegal activities of any type that I know of. I look at these stories that we see about this woman making this decision to date a police officer. She couldn't. There were other officers on that force. If this woman wanted to be in a relationship with somebody and she wanted to be a police officer, she should have terminated her relationship with that man that she was with immediately. When she became a police officer, she should have immediately ceased dealing with his foolishness. But she should not have become a police officer. What was going on in her head? You can't live on both sides of the fence. One side of you got one foot in law enforcement. The other side, you dealing with a nigga who doing all this crazy illegal shit, killing, shooting, robbing, selling illegal drugs, violent crimes. What is going on in your head? Why do our black women choose these men and you women do choose these niggas? I've seen it in my own family. I've seen it with the women I know. And I've seen it, I don't know a lot of women because in recent years, like I said, I don't have a lot of friends, I've kind of did that. But back in 20 years ago, I had a lot of female friends. And I saw this same foolishness. I'm saying, why did they date that guy? What'd be the point? But this officer chose to date a man that she knew either before she became a police officer or whatever. When she became a law enforcement police officer with the Fulton County Police Department, she should have terminated that relationship immediately. But she didn't. Because she loved this man. She loved his food. And it's to the point that she would even go in there and risk her job, but she lost her job now any damn way, possibly facing jail time, and may never be able to work in law enforcement again. I don't understand it. This is bizarre. There are there's 1,000 niggas out here running around here, y'all. And why do y'all have to settle for this trash and filth? I don't get it. I'm a black gay man. Do you really think I'm going to date a known violent drug dealer? And you better believe there are some known violent gay drug dealers out here involving, you better believe it. I have met them. I wouldn't be dealing with a 10-foot pole. Remember I told you guys, in the early 90s, I met guys. Don't forget I served time in prison. And when one of my little boyfriends got out of prison, we were trying to make something work. We was always running around with guns and violence and guns. And I'm going to shoot somebody and guns. And I said, okay, you can't come out here no more. I terminated that quick shit. I don't want that nigga around me. Every time you pull up in this raggedy ass Nova, you got the loud ass stereo going, You got all these guns in this car. I don't know what else is in this car. And we talking about going to get something to eat. I'm going to get something to eat. I'm not going in this car. Park this shit in that garage. We get in my car. I know ain't no guns or weapons in there. We were in two different lifestyles, y'all. I'm trying to look. I'm just trying to go to Houston and get a steak. You want to ride by the West End and go someplace? We ain't going down there. But he always was trying to go to these I said, this ain't gonna work. I had to distance myself. Okay, enough of this shit. You're gonna get me shot and killed, no drive-by, while you driving by the West End and go down. West End wasn't all that great back then either. The West End has improved dramatically since the early 90s. This is like 93. But even I had sense enough to say, oh no, hell no. I'm not doing this. I was 23 years of age. This woman was well in her. How old was this woman? That's what I was trying to figure out. What was she? How old was she? Does anybody know how old this officer was who did this foolishness? They didn't list their ages in here, but I'm so curious to know how old this crazy woman was. How old was this woman to be running around with a boyfriend who was a known drug and gang member? She had to have known. She knew. Because, of course, she went in there and tried to steal his damn cell phone after the fact. He must have had some damn good dick. Get a dildo. Go to the gate for the dildo, run your ass up the Kroger and get you one of them big old cucumbers and slap a condom on it. There you go. This is crazy. I don't think, I sit here by myself for the rest of my life if I allow a known drug dealer, a gang member, a violent person with guns and foolishness and ripping and running the streets into my home, let alone drive my car. You'd be a damn fool. And this woman was a damn fool. But there's a lot of black women like this out there. They keep choosing these fools and they end up dead or in jail. Those 4 officers in Baltimore who were impregnated by that inmate, they all went to prison. You all do know that, right? They went to prison. They didn't get, this is something, 4 women, 4 police officers, 4 correctional officers, fucking the same man. Ain't nobody use a condom because they all didn't get pregnant. Well, this is something, girl, we all pregnant by the same man. What kind of shit is this? What kind of magical dick did he have? 4 different women, 4 correctional officers pregnant, y'all. And look it up. I'm not lying. 4 police officers. 4. I got this new cell phone. I'm not going to use this shit. 4 Baltimore police officers, correctional officers. There it is. They pop right on at my phone. In a shocking case of prison corruption, a notorious gangster impregnated 4 female prison guards inside the jail, prosecutors said. Baltimore, in a shocking case of, this man impregnated 4 prison guards when he was inside the fucking jail. By the same inmate. This happened in 2013 in Baltimore. I'm sure you all heard about this bullshit. His name was Tavin Bulldog, and he looked like a fucking bulldog too. He got 12 years in prison. And Tavin Bulldog, who impregnated 4 guards inside Baltimore. Well, what kind of dick did this nigga? He must have some damn good dick. For 4 people, before we were like, girl, I'm giving you some dick today too. I'm going man and get impregnated. They didn't even. It's shocking to me. He impregnated 4 guards and oversaw a drug smuggling operation while in jail. Tavin Bulldog White. White used contraband cell phones while in the Baltimore City Detention Center to direct gang activity on the streets. He recently testified against 5 corrections officers, a kitchen worker, and 2 inmates that the authorities say helped White run the operation. White impregnated 4 of the guards while in the jail on attempted murder charge. When did they even have time to find out? Where did they even get the sex in jail? I'm just trying to figure this out. This is very strange to me. However, niggas do some crazy shit. So he was given 12 years in prison, and he ain't all that handsome guy. I don't know if y'all can see some sunlight over here. Why? What? I don't know. Black women got to start making better decisions. They got to start making the better decisions. Black women, our decision-making process is the main reason why our black communities are the way that they are. Now, you all may say, well, what about the black man? What about the black man can't bring a child into this world? This nigga impregnated 4 crazy women. Them 4 idiots made a mistake. Where are these children now? Do you know they went to jail? I don't know when they got out of jail, but they went to jail. Who took care of these children? And can you imagine the story behind this? Well, you know, you was born because your mama got pregnant. What? I mean, seriously. What kind of families did they come from? What kind of families they trying to raise? This is going to be some crazy shit there. I don't know. Your daddy was a known drug dealer, and your mama got impregnated by him while he was in jail. What in the world? Better decisions, sisters. I think I'm going to start pushing my channel towards this focus just to discuss this stuff. Because we got to get these women to start making better decisions. There are some good guys out there. There was no reason for those 4 black officers to fall in love and have a sexual relationship with an inmate inside a jail. Why? It should never have happened. But anyway, my coffee's getting cold. I had to sit a second or two before I started this video. But anyway, that police officer, she made some dumb decision, and we're going to see more and more reports about this type of stuff. These sisters, they just won't do right. They keep choosing, these black women keep choosing these idiots to have relationships with. They choosing the worst of the fucking worst to lay down in bed with and have. This has been going on since I was in high school. They choose the worst of the fucking worst to have relationships with, to have children with. And then at the end, when they end up shot and killed, everybody's like, what happened? Well, look who they laid down with. Look who they chose. Because at any given minute, that meant the situation can go left. That dumb police officer who risked her job, and she lost her job, to help this fool, what is she seeing them? Yeah. We're going to talk about this family. But anyway, today is Monday. It is November 15th. The year is 2021. And don't forget, we still in the coronavirus pandemic. And so watch out. And as we go into the holidays, figure out what y'all going to do to protect yourself, man. Get them vaccines. I got my booster shot. But I know some of y'all just determined you want to dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. When COVID snatch y'all asses up, it ain't going to be pretty. But it's almost 10 o'clock in the morning. I got a bunch of shit I need to do. Today is Monday, November 15th. The year is 2021. I'm out, and enjoy the rest of your Monday.